Hi, and welcome to Lois and Morgana Davidson Art. It's Lois here, and welcome back to my studio. Today I'm going to be showing you how I work on trying to abstract from photographs. In other words, using photographs of my local area that I'm really drawn to and trying to then interpret them in a unique and expressive way and create a sort of abstract landscape that still is deeply rooted in my own personal experience of being in and seeing and connecting with my beautiful local coastal landscapes. The work I'm showing you here is part of my exploration for my current series of paintings that I'm working on. The series is called Of Flint and Chalk, and it looks at the beauty of the landscape, my memories of it over the years, and the kind of change through time and seasons. So the way that I like to experiment is to immerse myself in the landscape, of course, by walking around, taking notes, taking lots of photographs. And also, of course, I've got my feelings, my emotions about the place, which is why I feel so strongly connected to it and so strongly drawn to creating this body of work and these abstract paintings. So back to the studio then. Yesterday I posted a video where I showed you my experiments with a slightly different colour palette, adding alizarin crimson to my more usual indigo, sepia and Payne's grey. And it's those experiments, along with a few others, that I'll be working on today, looking at them, analysing them, and putting them into my sketchbook and making some notes so that I can record my findings and then move forward into the next stage of my project. So first I'll show you a few seconds of time lapse from yesterday's video where I explored these colours and to see how they work together, to see if I wanted to take these colours forward into the series of paintings. And this is the way that I will often test new colours out. Rather than just simply swatching, I like to play with them in a very sort of abstract way. And here are the results of that experiment. They're really beautiful. There's some lovely colours here. There's things that I like that I want to take forward into the series of paintings. And by that, I don't mean that I'll be scaling up any of these sketches and studies directly, but that there's something in the atmosphere and the washes and the marks that are made on the paper that I want to be able to bring in. Something about the way the colours marry and mingle together, all that sort of thing. So I'm going to start off by cutting out the studies that I came up with and putting them into a sketchbook. This sketchbook of mine is where I record all my sort of studies and experiments sort of connected to this project and to some others. And it's just literally where I just play around with paint and ideas, colour combinations, mark making, compositions, all that sort of thing. And anything that I really like in my experiments gets cut out and stuck into one of my sketchbooks. And so I'll be putting a few of these into this sketchbook, and I've got another sketchbook that's landscape format rather than square format, because I don't think all of these are going to fit into my square sketchbook. So I always keep a few sketchbooks on the go for saving up experiments, because I like to work on watercolor paper when I'm experimenting, because of I need to experiment on the same paper that I use for my finished paintings. And of course, as well as sticking these into the sketchbook so that I can keep them, I always annotate them so that I remember which colours that I've used and what it is that I really like about them, so that can help me and give me inspiration for continuing with the project. So I've written down the colours that I've used, and also I noted the two colours that I'm not keen on mixed together heavily, which is the sepia and the alizarin. I prefer them to be tempered by the indigo. as is the case in this study. But what I really like is these much paler washes. These studies here where the indigo, Payne's grey and the alizarin crimson dominate with just a little hint of sepia and give these really soft but yet quite dramatic transitions of colour are something that I can take forward into my next experiments and into my final paintings. And also the proportion of the big sky and the small amount of land is something that I'm really enjoying in this particular study here. I'm also thinking in terms of maybe doing some diptychs or triptychs, in other words, two paintings that go together, or three paintings that go together. And you can see here from these two studies, because I painted across the page, I've got this lovely sort of subtle link to these two paintings. Both are different sizes, but I think they both work really well together. So that's another idea. And then moving on to another colour palette with similar experiments, this time with Payne's grey and indigo by themselves. And these are really beautiful colours. You know, possibly I could bring some of this sort of alizarin crimson into these colours just to temper that grey and bring that sort of pinky glow into it. So that's going to be one of my next experiments, to take these lovely sort of monochrome paintings that are just very blue and very grey and see if I can introduce some pink. And so this is how I use this sort of experimentation and the making of lots of different studies to move forward and to really get my ideas coalesced for this series of paintings. And I'll just show you a couple of finished paintings. The top one is called Deluge and the bottom one is Cloudburst. And these are two sort of panoramic view paintings from this particular series. And I'll just kind of show you how these new colours go with them, and you can see that these colours sit really nicely with the colours that are there, because I'm using a lot of the same colours, but instead of the strong Prussian blue in these, we've got the alizarin crimson as the kind of dominant colour note within it. But I'm hoping you can see that when I come to produce those finished abstract landscapes, that these little studies are really going to help me to be able to work and produce more paintings for this series that are still very much in harmony with the paintings that I've already made. And these studies can also send me off in a different direction. I'm really pleased with these ones, and as well as trying to introduce more colour into some of the paintings for the series, I'm definitely going to be painting some that are very monochromatic, just like these studies here. I really like the contrasts and the way the greys and blues work so well together, and in some places the greys and blues are almost black, and that really works beautifully against the white of the paper. Of course, there are unlimited ways to abstract from photographs, and every artist will have their own way of doing that, but I thought I'd just share part of my process with you today, so you can see how my ideas are developing and how I'm sort of going off in different tangents, and one idea is leading to another, and that's the most exciting thing about painting in this way. Many thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you have any ideas or suggestions for viewers as to how they could work with their photographs to abstract their landscapes. And I'll be back again soon with more sort of landscape demos and more studio vlogs and other sort of whatever piques my interest and that I decide I want to share with you on this channel of ours. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please leave us a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And thanks so much to everyone that supports the channel on Patreon. We couldn't run the channel without you. I'll see you again soon. Take care and happy painting. Bye.